as you know, when we conducted the playoffs or what segment 2 weeks ago, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, when you gave me the names of 7 NFC teams, and I chose for 3 spots, and I chose the Rams to win the West.
You did, yeah.
I chose the Rams to win the West, and by looking at their final 6 games, I had them losing this one and then winning out. And they win this one. So I'm feeling really good about my opinion. Even though the Seahawks had a really impressive game with Kenneth Walker III out, they uncorked some Chardonnay and served it up in heaping glasses in Arizona. And the 49ers did the damn thing, if you will, the bang thing on the Chicago Bears. But the Rams looking like this, they looked like their Super Bowl season on offense. Now, they do have some pass rushers. They can really put the heat on people, man. Jared Verse, I believe, despite how well the corners are playing, the secondary members of the rookie class in Philadelphia are playing. I think Jared Verse is the defensive rookie of the year. I just love the way he plays, and he is really friggin' good. But if that rush doesn't get home, I'm concerned about the back end of the Rams defense, but not concerned about that if they're going to put up 40 like this. Stafford, 23 of 30 for 320, 2 passing touchdowns, and he's got 10 touchdowns and no picks over his last 4 starts, and they're 10-1 in December since McVay and Les Snead brought Stafford to Los Angeles from Detroit. This is Stafford time in Los Angeles, and we're seeing it. And many of those wins in December, and certainly the Super Bowl year that I'm talking about, did not feature a guy who's featured now because he was on the campus at BYU at the time. Puka Nacua is a revelation. As I mentioned moments ago, is he the best receiver in the NFL? Bro, ladies out there. Oh. I mean, I'm saying bro to you guys in the studio, okay. Obviously, but you know what I'm saying. You got to make the case. He's up there.
He's on the list.
12 catches, 162 yards, 1 score, and he had a score on the ground. In the history of the NFL, here's a list of players to have 12 or more receptions in a game, 150 or more receiving yards in that game, and score 1 in the air, 1 on the ground. The list is Puka Nacua. Wow. This one that we have on the screen here. Hoskins, who's he beaten? Do we know? We can't see the number right here. But this one right here, it was a dime from Stafford, throwing it right over the head of the Bills defender, who was perfectly placed between Nacua and Stafford and the ball went over his head, and with Nacua in his back, Christian Benford, okay, and with Nacua having only, a foot of real estate to get his feet down while also catching the ball over his head and hold on to it going down on the ground. That's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. I'm serious. Come on, guys.
That was sick, dude.
Yeah.
And if they can just protect Stafford, they couldn't do it against the Eagles. The Eagles just dominated that line. Which, if they can't control the trench, then Kyron Williams can't go off either. But the Rams are a dangerous team, guys. They're dangerous. They're a dangerous team, and next up for them is San Francisco on a Thursday night before they visit the Jets, and then they're home for Arizona. That is a game, I believe, will be on a Saturday on NFL Network. I might be calling that game if it happens. And then Seattle. That could be for all the marbles. That could be final game. That could be the last game of the regular season where the winner moves on as the winner of the West or goes home. depending on how the Commanders hold on to that final 7th spot. Could be that. Because Seattle went into Arizona and just smacked them around. Smacked them around.
Yeah, without Walker, that was really impressive.
And the 49ers made me look like a sage for at least one day. So what's more likely? Who would you take for the next 5 years? Caleb Williams or Brock Purdy? I said Purdy. Well, at least one game made me look good. I said I'd take Purdy and Shanahan over Caleb and fill in the blanks over the next 5 years. Once again, the Bears started slow and the Niners started fast. Purdy had 250 yards passing by halftime. So this NFC West is great, but I'm keeping my finger on that Rams chess piece, certainly based off of what we saw yesterday. The Rams, it's their second win all time in which they gave up 40 points. The other one was that 54-51 Goff beating Mahomes Monday Nighter in the Coliseum that this game felt like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it did.
Where two quarterbacks were just going at it, both offenses on tilt, although that one, if I'm not mistaken, ended with a defensive stop, of all things. This one just ended where Nacua got in the end zone, made it a 2-score game. The Bills made it tight again, and then because of the clock management, they went for the onside kick. McDermott said afterwards that it was because they called the timeout because of the fire drill after trying to unpile everybody up and pick them up and get ready. They thought too much time would go off. Oh, and by the way, the last thing is that the reason why they didn't go for the punt block when the Rams were forced to punt it away to end the game and take all the time off the clock is because they didn't have enough guys on the field. Apparently, we're just 9 guys on the field. And if the Bills were just going through last season at this time, McDermott would be flat out on the hot seat and people would be going nuts in Western New York. But 10-3 is not what a lot of people expected. And Josh Allen is the MVP going into Week 15. And so things are kind of more hunky-dory there, even though they're now 2 behind the Chiefs. And the Rams, I think, are going to win the West. But we'll see. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.